Good morning. This is April the 20th, Sunday, 2025, and we are in BBIS second semester compulsory English class. Last Thursday, we talked about the episodic system in the integrative model of intercultural communicative or communication competence. We first talked about the individual system, where we talked about how the factors like motivation to communicate, knowledge of the communicative procedure, and knowledge of the skills helps an individual to communicate more effectively and makes them competent communicators. Then last time we talked about episodic system, and we defined episodic system as those characteristics of an actor like motivation, knowledge, skill, communicative status, etc. Those features of the speaker, actor, communicator, which increase the chance that the co-actor will view the actor as competent in a given episode of interaction. For example, today you knocked the door because you came late, some of you. I opened the door, I scolded you. This must have made you feel bad. I went down the aisle to him. I inquired why he was absent in my previous so many classes. He must have felt bad. And I said, my classroom is not a temple, come on time. It must have made you feel bad. If this behavior I did this morning in this class, if this behavior made you feel bad, then you will have the impression that this English teacher in this class today is not teaching us properly. And if you have this impression, you will think, I'm not a competent communicator. So, from this perspective, my behavior was not appropriate because it made you feel bad. You are the co-actor in this class, I am the actor in this class. This is how we defined episodic system last time. I am quickly revising what we had done in the previous class. Okay. Then we talked about communicative status, and we defined communicative status as anything in the actor. Anything. Even my waistcoat, if it gives an impression that the teacher is smart, even this waistcoat enhances communicative status. From dress to behavior to anything. Any factor that makes you believe or makes you feel that the speaker or actor is good at communication is communicative status. I said any factor, from dress to facial disposition to classroom environment, anything, right? Then we talked about these factors. I'll discuss them later on. I won't discuss, I'll slightly mention them. So we said as communicative status increases, co-actors' impression of actors' competence also increases. Just imagine I had done PhD in English, then you would look at me differently. Just imagine I had not yet done my master's and I was teaching you and you knew I haven't done my master's, I'm about to complete. You would have different impression. Higher the status, stronger the impression, positive impression. Then we said, if the actor has more motivation to speak, if the actor has more knowledge of the co-actor, and if the actor has better skills of interaction, motivation is on the part of actor. Here, knowledge is on the part of co-actor. I know you pretty well. I know each of you. I know your behavior. I know your performance. I know pretty well. Then, if I know you better, you will have positive idea about me, positive view about me. But if I came to your class for the first time, this is day one with me in English class, you may not have positive view about me because you're seeing me for the first time. You don't know what kind of teacher I am. I may not have a good view about you because I'm meeting you for the first time. I don't know. I may be suspicious what kind of students they are, right? Okay. Then, contextual obstruction. We achieve success in two ways. One, the environment was favorable. Suppose I'm climbing Mount Everest and I get full support of Sherpas. They carry me somewhere, difficult path. They carry me up. They give me oxygen. I have other support. The environment is fine. There is no avalanche, no storm. And I successfully reach the top. So I did not succeed because of my ability. I repeat, I did not succeed because of my ability. I succeeded because the context was supporting to me. I met a lot of Sherpas. They agreed to help me on the way. They lent me their oxygen cylinders. And I could climb. Now imagine, it was winter season. There were avalanches while climbing up. Sherpas disagreed to support me because they said they have to climb down. It's getting dangerous moment by moment. But I didn't lose my courage. I kept creeping up. And without anybody's support, I climbed the mountain, Everest. Now I climbed Mount Everest because of my own ability and effort. Although the context was highly obstructive, there was avalanche, my oxygen was used up, Sherpas didn't come to help me, so the environment was not supportive. But I could do. How I could do? Because I was very strong. I had my internal ability, confidence, resilience. I made dying effort. Now, if you feel that I got the success because of my ability and effort, you will think I'm a highly competent climber. I gave example of climbing. Now, use that analogy to communication. if you think that this chapter is very difficult, and if you start believing that Divakar sir must be quite able and he must have made effort to go through the essay throughout the night last night probably, otherwise how could he explain this way? Then you will think I am a competent teacher, I am a competent communicator. That's what contextual obstruction of actor's performance increases. The more difficulties I face in doing something, the better impression you have about me. The more difficulties I conquer, let's say, the more difficulties I conquer because of my effort, and keep the two words in mind. The more difficulties I conquer, not because of contextual support, but because of my personal ability and my personal effort, the more you will think that I'm a better communicator. Okay. As the actor's receipt of valued outcomes increases. What is receipt of valued outcome? I do something for the first time, I do something second time, I do something third time, I do something fourth time, I do something fifth time. And each time I'm successful. Each time I'm successful. So you see that in the past 5 efforts the actor made, he is successful every time. So I have valued outcomes. Means I could do things successfully in the past. And you know, then you will think, oh, because he has done things successfully in the past, today also he will do things successfully. And you will have impression that I am a competent communicator. As the actor's receipt of valued outcomes increases, co-actor's impression of the actor's competence increases. What is receipt of valued outcome? You are able to achieve success each time you talk to people. Suppose I'm a negotiator in a company. You are the shareholders of that company. Every week I go to other companies for business negotiation. In the last 10 months, I could successfully settle down 10 negotiations. And now you are thinking to send me for an international negotiation. Now you will be confident that Divakar will be able to successfully achieve that negotiation, because in the past he has already achieved 10 negotiations successfully. That is receipt of valued outcomes in the past. You know, this way of teaching is a very bad way of teaching, because I am explaining everything, you are listening to me, and this doesn't guarantee that you will be able to write in the exam. This doesn't guarantee if you make notes, or I don't know. But this might sound good teaching because I'm explaining everything. But this is not a good way of teaching. Okay. As actors extant attributed communicative status. Mark this phrase and understand what it means. Extant attributed communicative status. Extant means from past up to now. I have been teaching at LSCM since 2016. It's almost 9 years. I began teaching here in 2016. It is 2025. So for the last 9 years, my communicative status has been high. Every year the college evaluates me from your side and then decides whether they should hire me for next semester or not. So because they hired me in the last 9 years, I believe my performance is fine. So I have communicative status from past till present. So now you will think, because this teacher has successfully been teaching here for the last 9 years, so he can teach us also successfully. He is competent, you will think. Read it. An actor who comes into an encounter, means today we have an encounter. What is encounter here? An opportunity where the co-actor and the actor meet and have a communication. For example, today's encounter to some of you was not pleasant because you knocked the door, I scolded you. Not pleasant because you came late. To her it was not pleasant because I got confused. She had come earlier, she left room, she came late, I scolded even to her. She must have felt bad. Why this teacher doesn't understand? Right? Encounter. With an established high level of status. Established high level of status. Because I have been teaching for 35 years. I began teaching in 1990. And I began teaching in class 3. And I have taught up to master's level or even higher than that for some time. So I have established status. I have established high level status as a teacher. Now if I go for an interview for a job as a teacher now, the hiring committee will think I am a competent teacher in comparison to somebody who has just passed masters and is trying to get a job. So if you have a long history of high status before you come for communication, the co-actor will think you must be highly competent for this job. I went for an interview in Indian Embassy for a job as interpreter. And they asked, and I told them, I don't have any experience of working as an interpreter. So I did not have established high level status for that job. And I was not selected. Because I had no status as a communicator or as an interpreter, right? Okay. Now, another point to understand is that the initial impression about a person is often our later impression. If you like a teacher on day 1, chances are high you will appreciate his teaching throughout the semester. If on day 1 you feel, oh, this teacher lacks confidence, oh, this teacher can't explain the subject matter, oh, this teacher doesn't have command of language, then throughout the semester you will be suspicious about the teacher's ability to teach you. So initial impression is final impression. So if you initially think he is competent, you will continually think he is competent. Now, every co-actor has expectations from the actor. I'm a teacher teaching you today. You have expectations about the way I teach you. Just imagine, you expect me to make you active. I'm not doing that. You expect me to sporadically also use Nepali. I'm not doing that. You expect me to make you come here and present sometimes. I'm not doing that. You expect me to email these slides to you. I'm not doing that. So what I'm doing? I am not fulfilling any of your expectations. If that happens, you will start thinking, I'm not a competent communicator because I'm not able to meet your expectations as co-actors. But if you think our English teacher should speak only English in class because this is English class, he should never speak Nepali, I am meeting this expectation. If you think our English teacher should not bother us with anything, he should come and lecture fluently, clearly, I'm doing that. If you think our English teacher should bring good PowerPoint slides that have brief points on the board, I'm doing that. If you expect that your teacher should make strong slides, I'm doing that. Now, if this is the case, you will think I'm a competent communicator. So if I meet your expectations, you will have high appreciation for the competence. If I fail to meet, you will think I'm not competent. So it's the same as I said, let's read this point. To the extent that co-actor expects an encounter with actor to be positive, then actor is likely to be now. Suppose you came to class. You came to my class with a positive mood. From the very beginning, you had the belief that the speaker will speak fine. You have optimism. You have positive attitude. Then you will keep thinking that I'm a good speaker. But suppose you come to my class with a negative attitude, then you will think I'm not a good speaker. So your attitude also determines your perception about me as a speaker or as a communicator. Now, what is normative violation? What is normative? Normative means something that, let's say, behavior. Normative means behavior which is acceptable. Right. Now, suppose you have negative expectancy. Just imagine you want me to mail you these slides. Say, Divakar sir, you have made good slides, so you have done the effort, so why don't you mail us? We can use that during the exam, we can read them quickly. Then I say, no, that will be spoon feeding. Why should I mail? I won't mail you. So I am breaking your negative expectation. Requesting the teacher to mail you notes is a negative behavior. This encourages rote learning and this encourages spoon feeding. Even expecting me to lecture like this every day is a negative expectation because it doesn't contribute to learning. Why? Because you are passive, I'm active. You should be here doing this, what I'm doing. Right? Suppose there is an interview. I'm going for interview and I'm very nervous. I have no confidence because I'm applying for a new job. I have no experience. And as I reach the interview room, the interviewer understands that I am quite nervous. I have negative thoughts. I believe, oh, the interviewer must be rude. I believe, oh, the interviewer probably will ask me difficult questions. I imagine, oh, maybe I will fail the interview. I imagine, oh, I won't get the job. I imagine, what shall I do if I don't get the job? I imagine all these negative things. So, the co-actor, me, has negative expectations about the outcome of the interview. Now, what can the interviewer do? So, the interviewer may change the context of the interview. For example, the interviewer may decide to be less formal. He may decide to take interview in the canteen instead of taking in the office. Because in the canteen, we can sip coffee and then talk to each other. He can decide to wear informal dress. He can decide not to talk about the topic, but to talk about other things in the beginning, so that gradually I gain my confidence. So what is the actor doing? The actor is violating my belief that he will be strict, my belief that he will be asking difficult questions. I believed that interviewer will ask me tough questions. And what did the interviewer do? He asked me easy questions. So he broke negative expectation. Then I began to think, oh God, Initially, as I was preparing for the interview, I thought interviewer would be a very bad fellow, but now I realize he's a good person. He understood my difficulties. He cooperated, and I got the job. Actors' fulfillment of co-actors' competence prototype expectancies. Here, understand the word prototype. Prototype means basic model of something. You have been to schools and colleges for the last 12, 13 years. You have seen dozens of teachers by now, from class nursery to BBIS second semester. So you have some idea about what teaching is. You have some idea about how teachers should behave. You have some idea what are the good characteristics of a teacher. You have some idea what are the bad features of a worst teacher. So now, in your mind, in your imagination, you have a picture of good teacher. And you also have a picture of bad teacher. Now, if I meet your imagination of the bad teacher, you will think I'm not a competent teacher. Oh, this English teacher always comes late in the class. Look how we have to wait him 15 minutes. Oh, this English teacher looks lousy. Look how badly he dresses. Oh, this English teacher, look, he speaks Nepali. He doesn't have good language command. If I meet your negative imaginations, you will start thinking, I'm not a competent teacher or communicator. But if you have positive things about teacher and I meet them, you will think, I'm a competent speaker or communicator. There is something called cognitive outline. There is something called schema. Mental schema. What is mental schema? The blueprint in your mind about people. Schema. Schema is the mental map. The mental map you have about the teacher. If the mental map in your mind about who is a good teacher matches with my behavior as a teacher, you will think I'm a competent communicator. Okay. Normative reciprocity of positive affect and compensation of negative affect. See, understand the word. Reciprocity of positive affect. Two words keep in mind, understand. Reciprocity and compensation. What is reciprocity? Reciprocity is, I smile, you saw me smiling in the corridor, and you smile. You saw me in the corridor, you said, good morning, sir. I responded, good morning, with a smiling face, and you smiled. That's reciprocity. You show the same feeling that the co-actor is showing. What is compensation? You are nervous. You have the feelings of nervousness. And I cooperate and encourage you to lose that nervousness. That is compensation. Just opposite to reciprocity. Right? Now, if an actor understands the feelings of the co-actor properly, I repeat, If an actor better understands the feelings and emotions of the co-actor, then the co-actor's impression of actor's communicative competence will increase. One. Second, if an actor helps the co-actor, or if an actor cooperates the co-actor emotionally, and if because of the actor's emotional adjustment the co-actor feels comfortable, then the co-actor will have the impression that the actor is highly competent. Suppose you come to my class and you're scared of me because I always scold, I shout at you, I misbehave, I punish for nothing. Then what is happening? I am creating negative feelings and emotions in you. By misbehaving, I am creating the feeling of fear. By misbehaving, I am creating the feeling of nervousness. So I am not cooperating you to feel good. In that case, you will think I am not a competent teacher or competent speaker. This is very true about dating experience. I just remembered. You are dating with a boy or girl for the first time and you are talking. So what feelings do they arouse in you? Do they make you scared? Do they make you confident? Do they make you nervous? Or do they make you feel good? Okay. Now, normative compensation of power relation. Let's read. Complementary power relationships tend to produce higher impression of competence. What is complementary power relationships? You came late, some of you knocked. I was angry in the class. I opened the door and I scolded you slightly, I remember. I said, "Dilaune, yes, balaune ho." So your expectation was, now the teacher will ask us to stay out of the class. But what I did, I felt kind. I said, "Okay, come in." Here, as a teacher, I am powerful than you. Being my student in this scenario, you are less powerful than me. So how do you compensate power relation? If I say, I remember last time it was Cyrus or somebody, I forgot. He knocked, I angrily opened the door, I said, "Stay out." And he went back. So he cooperated. I don't remember exactly who this was. It was somebody else. Maybe you were there, right? You had come. What's your name? Tashan Banjade. He knocked. I opened the door angrily. And I said, "If I let you in, others will learn the same habit. Stay out." And he went out. When he went out without saying a word, what was he doing? He was complementing the power relation. If he had said, "No, म जाँदिनँ सर, मैले क्लास किन मिस गर्ने, 2 मिनट ढिलाएर 58 मिनट क्लास मिस गर्नु पर्ने," and he came in, now there will be a conflict. There will be a conflict. Why? Because he did not complement the power relation. What is complementary power relation? If I am a teacher student, you obey me. You obey me. That's complementing. If I am senior, if I have the authority to command you, you obey me. But if you revolt, if you challenge, there is no complementary power relationship. In that case, there will be conflict, and he will think, "I'm a bad teacher." I will think he's a bad student. Because he complimented. I remember I closed the door and I appreciated him in the class. I remember that day. I said, पढाउँदा पढाइदिए बाहिर तर कस्तो ठिक लागेन आई रिमेम्बर आई सेड because I realized right complementary power relations tend to produce higher impression of competence. Complementary means when you have a teacher, a student, follow him. Relationships and encounters tend to work more smoothly and comfortably when now watch carefully, dominant moves are responded to with complementary passive moves. That same example will work. The move I made that day was a dominant move. I said, "Go, baire baso. Stay out." Dominant move. How did he respond? He responded with a passive move by saying, "Okay, sir." बोल्दा नि बोलेन गयो खुर्कै गयो तुरुन्तै गयो जाँदिन भने अब के हुन्थ्यो झगडा हुन्थ्यो. So I had the impression that he is a good student. He may not have an impression about me the same, but I had the impression, right? So dominant move responded with passive move. Funny example दिन्छु ल मेरो घर अगाडिको सिनेरियो हेरेर घर अगाडि पार्क छ अनि त्यहाँ केटाकेटी कपाल आउँछन् के खाली कपाल आएपछि के गर्छन् आफै थाहा पाउनुस् हैन. You are dating, you have dated multiple times. मैले अघि नै भने फन एक्जाम्पल दिन्छु भनेर. At one point you try to kiss the partner. ल त्यहाँ सब पुग्नु किस गर्नु खोज्नु भयो. You made a dominant move now. It's first time. And if the partner rejects, there may be a problem in the relation. But if she makes a passive move, your love might become more and more intense over time. Well, for an example, sorry for that. Now read next. Passive moves are met with more directive moves. What is the example? Passive move, directive move. Suppose you are not willing to do something. As an example, I opened the door, Yusuf was there, Sachin was there. First I scolded. And they were sure. Our sorry bitrauna didaina. Ja bhancha. And they were willing to go back. I could see their mood. I could see the gesture. Our sorry pathaunदैन भित्र गाली गर्न ढोका खोल्यायो गाली गर्छ ढोका लाउँछ. Passive mood. They were about to go back. Now directive response, I said, come in. Right now they think I am a competent teacher. Most interaction will be viewed as competent to the extent that its power balance is complementary rather than reciprocal. If I shout, my wife too shouts at me. She reciprocates the same behavior. She returns same behavior. Now, our relation will be bad. Complementary. I get angry, she smiles. She compliments with appropriate behavior. Now relation will be fine. I'll get calm and cool. This is so true about my home environment. Okay. Now we move on to the third system, relational system. And if you remember, we said in individual system, we consider the characteristics of the actor. Mainly three characteristics: motivation, knowledge, and skill, which make the speaker competent. In the episodic system, we considered a sequence of communication between two people. And we said, if the speaker has these features, the co-actor will think that he is highly competent. So, co-actor's impression of actor's competence will increase if the actor has high motivation, high knowledge, high skill. So, episodic system is about co-actor's impression of actor's competence. I repeat, episodic system is about co-actor's impression of the actor's competence. Now relational, and in one episode, now relational system is considering their entire relationship. Me and my wife have been married for 35 years. We got married in 1990. If we consider our relation for the last 35 years, that will be relational system analysis. If we consider how we interact on a particular morning, that will be episodic analysis. If we consider only my characteristics or only my wife's characteristics as a personality, that will be individual system. Okay. So here we consider characteristics that facilitate competence across the lifespan of a relationship. Right? Between, if we consider this example, we may consider one year analysis. I taught you last semester, this semester, right? 12 months. Okay. If every average episode is competent, if on average my teaching is competent, our relation will be stable. If on average my teaching is incompetent, you will move on to the principal and ask him to replace the teacher. Right? So what is relational competence? Here's the definition. The level of communicative quality in an established relationship. Catch the word. Two phrases. Communicative quality. Second, in an established relationship. This can be student-teacher relationship, husband-wife relationship, or any other relationship. Now, as two people talk, there are two things, see here. Autonomy and intimacy. For example, in this class, I am the actor, you are the co-actor. This class is lecture-based class. This class is teacher-centered class. Most of the classes here so far are in this style. So do you see, I maintain more distance from you in class. Have you seen? Do you see? I maintain more distance. I do not encourage you to put me questions. I do not invite queries in class. I make you passive listener. Though I say, make notes as I teach you. Many of you do, some of you do not do. Right? So, I do not want to be disturbed. I want to lecture freely throughout the hour. So, I am maintaining more autonomy. I am not maintaining intimacy. Intimacy means being in an intimate relation with the co-actor. More interaction, more talk, more responses. Right? Now, suppose you expect this English teacher to talk to you more, to give you more guidance, to go around the class. Do you realize in this class for the last 50 minutes, I haven't left the dais platform. I haven't climbed down and I haven't gone into the over there. I haven't been near you. I'm always here. So I'm not doing anything to build intimacy. Now imagine you expect me to build intimacy. Now what is happening? I am not meeting your expectation of intimacy because I'm maintaining more autonomy. Now you will think I'm not a competent speaker. Have you seen in some situations, like for example, last year you read the essay, Where Do We Stand by Lisa Davis? The Saudi Arabian tries to build intimacy by going very close to the American. Because in Saudi Arabian culture, intimacy is built by physical proximity. The closer you are, the intimate you are. For Americans, they have autonomy, sense of autonomy. They feel that at least 18 inches area around the body should not be intruded. So when the Saudi Arabian goes too close, the autonomy is challenged. And the American feels bullied. And that communication, in that example, that essay, go back and read that essay once again and apply the ideas over that essay. Many of the ideas here will may be applicable to the situations in that essay, right? So the American wants autonomy, the Arab wants intimacy. And when the expectations are not met with, each is disappointed. The Saudi thinks the American is cold, indifferent. The American thinks the Saudi is weird. And the American feels bullied. Okay. What is intimacy? Desire for human contact. Desire for human connection. Feeling that I belong to them. Desire for inclusion. Oh, he includes me in his consideration. Desire for friendship. Desire for doing things together. The feeling that he should care about me. Intimacy, right? And if you expect these things from me, and if I do these things, you will think I'm a good, competent speaker. Now, what is autonomy? Need for self-control. Last time you read that Western cultures are more autonomous, individualist cultures. You read in the same essay, Where Do We Stand? You read about the what do you call, continuum of cultural interaction, where at one end you had high contact cultures and low contact cultures. So high contact cultures go for intimacy. Low contact cultures go for autonomy. They need self-control, they need independence. Americans, for example, they need power, they need privacy, and they need solitude. This is very true about American culture and not true for South Asian culture like Nepal. If a relationship is competent over the course of its lifespan, then the members need to fulfill the needs of each other as these dialectical needs fluctuate. So the point is, if the actor, speaker meets your expectation of intimacy and autonomy, you start feeling that the actor is highly competent. I remember एकचोटि एउटा विद्यार्थी ढिला आयो, sorry for this Nepali, long ago. अनि चलन गेटमा प्रिन्सिपल बस्ने चलन थियो गाली गर्नलाई, विद्या हप्काउनलाई. एकजना स्टुडेन्ट, गर्ल स्टुडेन्ट आयो ढिला. प्रिन्सिपल यता आऊ भनेर बोलाउनु भयो, आउनै मानेन. अनि अलिपुर बोलाएर नमारेपछि सरले हातमा समाएर तान्नुभयो, हातमा समाएर तान्नुभयो छोरी मान्छेको, फिमेल स्टुडेन्ट. उसले तुरुन्त हाउ डेयर यु टच मी भन्यो. मलाई नै याद छ, इन्सिडेन्ट, रियल इन्सिडेन्ट. अनि त्यहीँबाट उभिएर फोन निकालेर घरमा प्यारेन्टलाई फोन गर्यो, तुरुन्त यहाँ कलेजमा आउनु भयो. 30 मिनट त प्यान्टहरू गाडीमा आयो अनि के भन्यो दिस प्रिन्सिपल फिजिकली असल्टेड मी मलाई किन छोएको वी ह्याड अ मिटिङ उसले केही बोल्दैन मलाई छोएको किन भन्छ केटी मान्छे मलाई व्हाट डिड यु टच मी भन्छ एन्ड द प्रिन्सिपल ह्याड टु बेग एक्सक्युज मैले गल्ती गरेँ भनेर द प्रिन्सिपल broke the students' expectation of autonomy by touching her body. And we had a meeting. I remember. Very agadi bhako 20 वर्ष agadi. But I don't forget because I was there early morning. Okay. I remember from this point, right? Mutual attraction, okay. If I like you, you like me, we will think we are very competent, right? Attraction. Then mutual trust. If I trust you, you trust me, you will think I am competent. Social support. If I support you, you support me, you will think I am competent. If our relational network is good, we have connections, we interact, you will think I am competent. That's all. We'll conclude tomorrow. So tomorrow, what is the next essay? Just a minute. Managing intercultural conflict. There will be a presentation. There will be a presentation by pen. Yusuf Ali.
Yes, sir.
You will make a presentation on the chapter Managing Intercultural Conflicts Effectively. And Kripa Aryal. Where is Kripa? Tashan Banjade, you will make a presentation on the same chapter. Nishchay Baral, Anshu Basnet, you three will make presentation on the same chapter. And this afternoon you sit together and divide your jobs, what to do, who will do what. Tomorrow I'll call the three people, Yusuf, Tasant and Anshu. Before you go home, have the book and decide who will do what. Distribute the responsibility, task, and then do it. तपाईहरुले मेरो क्लासमा म हुँदा मोबाइल ननिकाल्नुस् ल म तपाईँ इन्फर्म गरिरहेको छु ल मैले पढाउँदा होस् वा पढाइसकेपछि मैले क्लास छाड्नुभन्दा अगाडि मोबाइल निकाल्नु भयो भने मैले खोजिदिन्छु ल मैले के देखिरहेको छु भने तपाईको फोकस कन्सन्ट्रेसन छैन के तपाई एकैछिन टिचरले